Now, who killed the appraiser, and is Hybara about to be exposed? Up, Woody Nerdigans. This is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Detective Conan chapter 1036. And I just found out a few hours ago I'm going to be going to Anime Expo, and I'm so freaking excited. But anyway, last chapter of Detective Conan, an appraiser got whacked. Yeah, he literally got whacked. And SERA is starting to close in on Hybara, which is not good, because if there's certain exposures going on, yeah, there could be some deaths. But anyway, let's get to this chapter and see what happens next. And chapter 1036 is titled An Adult-Like Child. There's a clue on the authentic tray. SERA suddenly closes in on Hybara's second file on of this new case. Excessive hemorrhaging from the head. The appraiser whose expertise Professor Agasa enlisted has been murdered. Was he bludgeoned? No, sir. According to the coroner, there's a laceration on his back, and the cause of death was determined to be aortic trauma brought upon by a pointed blade. A pointed blade? Yes, sir. The murder weapon appears to be that spear over there. The culprit didn't leave any fingerprints, but there's blood on the tip of the blade, and the dents on the socket below show it must have struck something. Taking into consideration that when Agasa-san first entered this room around 2 p.m. today, the victim, Nishitu Hogan-san, was still alive, we can deduce that after the culprit stupefied the victim with a spear, Agasa-san arrived at the room, so they quickly hid away in a cupboard or some such. And after he left the room to call for the police and an ambulance, the culprit left their hiding spot and finished off the victim with a spear to the back. By the way, Professor, what were you doing here? I'd asked Nishitu-san to appraise an antique tray for me, so I came to hear the result. Bringing along some friends who happened to drop by my home earlier. Asked him to appraise? Does that mean? Yes, sir. The victim, Nishitu-san, was an antiques appraiser. But why would an antiques appraiser be killed? I think it could be, be related to the black lacquer tray. It's a piece of Chinese lacquerware. The victim was apparently asked to appraise one worth tens of millions of yen. Agasa-san told us that the tray was here in this room, in front of the victim, who was bleeding from the head and already at death's door. But since it's not here anymore, I wonder if the culprit was after that tray. Tray? Do you mean this thing in the box next to the victim? If you meant this one, it wasn't stolen or anything. There are two similar boxes right next to it, no? Why don't you check them out as well? What? They all have the same tray inside? What's going on? Strangely enough, it seems 3 simultaneous appraisal requests were made for 3 identical trays, influenced by the presentation of a similar tray worth 100 million yen on an appraisal TV program. 100 million yen? This tray? Apparently, the victim said he was going to meet with all 3 clients at once today and explain the difference between the authentic piece and the knockoffs. It makes sense, though, that the culprit who killed the appraiser and put the authentic tray into their own box in order to get their hands on a huge amount of money is amongst you 3. I see. Then please tell me one by one your names, jobs, as well as where you were and what you were doing around 2 p.m. when the crime happened. My name is Tojima Moriyuki. I'm an employee of a broker-dealer company. I noticed that inside the storehouse I inherited from my grandfather who died last year, there was a tray that looked just like the one shown in this appraisal program, so I requested my own appraisal. Tojima Moriyuki is 41, and he's a broker-dealer company employee, thinking it'd be great if it was as valuable as the one shown on TV. So, you wanted to sell it then? It's not like I'm having financial problems, you know. It's just, it's good to, it's always good to save up money for after retirement. So where were you at 2 p.m. and what were you doing? Nishitu-san told me that a friend of his professor would be coming soon, so I should wait in the reception room together with these 2. I went to the restroom at one point and ended up getting lost since this house is so big. Being unable to return to the reception room, I wandered around a while. In the midst of this, I was attracted by the racket made as these people ran down the corridor and came straight here. I swear, I think this is the guy that did it. 10 million, I'm telling you, it was 10 whole million. That's what I bought that. That's what I bought that tray for 20 years ago. Obviously, my tray is the real deal. I'm sorry, but could you start with your name and job, please? Shono Kinji, I was a real estate company CEO until 10 years ago. Nowadays, though, I'm retired. And he's 74. What were you doing at 2 p.m.? I spent a while with that woman in the reception room, but I'm not the type to just sit and wait in a room. I went to the study, and while I was engrossed in a book on antiques there, I too heard someone coming down the corridor noisily, and came here just the same as this guy. Anyways, my tray has to be the real one. If my tray somehow turned out to be a knockoff, I'd be too humiliated to show my face to my clan again. I'm Sakamaki Suzu, the director of the Furido Art Museum. I brought a tray that had been exhibited in the museum for many years. The museum will soon be reopening after having been renovated, and we want this tray to be the center piece of the exhibition. And she's 46. The owner asked me to figure out how much it's worth. Thus, I requested an appraisal of the tray to see if it was really worth as much as they claimed on that appraisal program. I see. I never could have imagined that there would be two other people with similar trays. So it's true. Then what these? So it's true then what these two are saying? That you were in the reception room the whole time? Yes, I was there by myself. The housekeepers were with me at first, but this place has housekeepers? Come to think of it, there were 2 of them last time I was here. These 2 are the housekeepers. Apparently they'd gone to buy oh my god, what's wrong with me? Apparently they'd gone to buy rice crackers at a nearby store. Rice crackers? You see, Sakamaki-san said to us, I don't like sweets. Don't you have salty rice crackers or the like? I merely inquired on whether you have them or not. It's not like I was demanding anything. So after we escorted Tojima-san to the restroom and Chono-san to the study, we went grocery shopping together, buying the ingredients for dinner as well. Say, is there no one else in this house? Usually the owner's son and his wife are here as well, but they're on a trip. They're on a family trip right now. And to think that they could ask us to take care of the master while they were away. Who could have predicted it'd end up like this? I see. Essentially, the 3 of you were able to roam around freely around 2 p.m. Could have easily killed Nishitsu-san with that spear. A spear has a long shaft, so regardless of how it's wielded, it's unlikely any blood spatter will reach you. In any case, I think we should be able to identify the culprit instantly, since they most likely store the authentic tray in their own box. Good point. If we have another appraiser examine the trays in those boxes, we'll have incontrovertible proof of the culprit's identity. As expected, you're very adult-like indeed. Incontrovertible is a word that means something cannot be disputed. It's very unusual for a first grader to use such language. Oh god, Sarah, no, don't start this now. Say, how old are you really? You also took it, didn't you? The same thing Conan took. Is it really that unusual, though? Nowadays, even elementary school children have smartphones and can immediately look up words they come across on TV or in a book. Moreover, the professor often uses sophisticated language, so it follows that she would pick up on some of it when the both of them live together. That's true. Well then, summon another appraiser here. Yes, sir. Hey, wait a minute. Did the culprit really put the authentic tray into their own box? Couldn't they have just returned the tray in question into its original box? That's right. To make it look like the tray was the reason behind the murder. Maybe he was actually murdered by someone who had a different reason to hate him. Exactly. Maybe it was because their tray had been severely criticized or something. Anyway, I don't want to be labeled as the culprit just because the authentic tray is inside my box. In any case, we won't get anywhere without an appraiser. But if we invite a well-known appraiser over, we might be in for quite a wait. Say, Professor, Nishitsu-san told you that the tray in front of him was the authentic one, right? Yes, he was touching it with his bloodstained finger. Oh, that's right. There was a bloodstain left by Nishitsu-san on the bottom of the authentic tray. Really? All right, to keep you from being able to talk your way out of it later, please sit down behind your retrospective boxes. I will check the bottom of the trays from right to left. Obviously, the owner of the tray with the bloodstain on it will be the key suspect, and... Oh no! All 3 of them have a bloodstain on the bottom. After noticing that there was a bloodstain on the bottom of the tray, the culprit most likely clearly left stains on the other trays as well, right, to prevent us from being able to pick out the authentic one. Can you think of anything else? Something that could help us pick out the authentic one? Something that could help? Come to think of it, after turning the tray with the bloodstain horizontally, the crane's beak aligned with the position of the stain. So if we flip the trays over horizontally, we'll be able to tell by the beak's position which one is the authentic one. I see. Let's put the blood stain at the top and turn them horizontally, and the tray that has the beak at the top is... Ooh, none of them are pointing upwards? That can't be. Hey now, you said you'd be able to tell who the culprit is, but that was nothing but hogwash. Tell? That reminds me, how could you tell, huh? When I was by the gate, checking out Professor Agassi's house, you called out to me, didn't you? If you're interested in meeting someone, how about we go in together? And when Conan asked you, you said, was there someone loitering around the gate? Yes, there was. A bike helmet wearing girl was there. How did you know that I was a girl? Ooh! How will Okia tackle the relentless inquiry of SERA, the overwhelming tomboy? Oh my god. Dude. Jesus, SERA, why are you stirring the pot now? This is not the time. This ain't the time for this. This ain't the time for this. But whatever. I'm really curious what is gonna go down. Like, maybe, I'm very curious what Okia is gonna say in regards to this. That's gonna be very, very interesting, because she knows, SERA knows something is up. She knows. Remember what we found out last chapter about SERA. Very curious what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And who do you guys think the culprit is? Very curious what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. if you love what I'm doing and want to help keep this channel alive so I can keep bringing you more Detective Conan content. There's a few ways you could do that. You could donate to my PayPal, Patreon, GoFundMe, purchase something on my Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Till next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later.